Alaina is going to join us next. Alaina joined us a little late in the Sage School journey, so we don't have as many embarrassing pictures of her as we have of others, but we're still going to do our best here to welcome Alaina. Alaina Bejot.
Hi, I'm Alaina, and as you can see, my presentation is about healing through natural medicine. First, why I chose this project, like what I did for this project. The whole year, with every science presentation I've done, I've always done it on the topic of nature or plants, which leads to my reason for picking this topic.
Yeah, hold on, Alaina. Where's that? Yeah, try that. Mic is cutting out a little bit.
Okay. It wasn't just this year either. I wanted to do something that I was really interested in, that I really would enjoy learning more about. Even when I was just a baby, my mom would always tell me that the only way to calm down my fits was to take me outside or put me in front of a window. And growing up with my grandpa's adventurous spirit and my mom who was raised by him, I always see them point out different plants on walks or hikes and tell me what they are and what they do. So time came for high school, the era of decision making. And in 10th grade, I had this idea that I wanted to become an herbalist, which then transferred to a botanist, and eventually, with the help of ITri, I chose to study naturopathy. But since there is such a vast amount of plants in this world, and with the short time I had with ITri, I had to focus on only one interest. And at first, I wanted to look into skincare or immunity, but those things are already pretty accessible to me. Plus, I have a pretty kicker immune system myself. So my mom proposed the idea to study plants in anxiety. And she did this because anxiety has been a part of my whole life. And there are places, especially in education, where it has gotten in the way of my learning and execution of my work. Big picture. My goals for this project were to learn about how some plants work with the body, get some in-office experience, learn how to make different remedies, and maybe find a solution to my anxiety. By taking courses online, shadowing Gusty Swift at her new clinic, Headwaters of Wellness, and talking with Erin Sweeney at her office of midwifery and herbalism, although I did learn quite a lot about different plants, and I found some fun new information that I didn't purposely research about, I still had some moments where this was hard and I didn't want to do it anymore. But overall, I learned a lot about plants and about myself. Okay, what even is naturopathic medicine? Naturopathic medicine can be lots of different things. It's mainly referred to as the alternative medicine, compared to the synthetic drugs we use today. But naturopathic medicine is a holistic, patient-centered approach that blends nature and science to support long-term wellness by following these 6 principles. First, do no harm. Second, treat the whole person. Third, prevention. Doctor as teacher. Treat the cause, and the healing power of nature. They guide naturopathic doctors in diagnosing, treating, and caring for the patient holistically. And as it is often said in naturopathic medicine, the goal is not just to treat the disease, but the person living with it. Our school is all about the social, natural, and built environment. In many ways, naturopathy connects to our definition of human ecology, natural, social, and built environments. Starting with natural environment, it's a source of healing remedies, and it's foundational to the philosophy of the healing power of nature. Quote, the body has an inherent ability to heal itself, and nature provides the tools to support that process. Naturopathy is deeply rooted in the natural world. It emphasizes healing power of nature. It depends on healthy ecosystems. The damaged natural environment directly affects the quality and availability of healing herbs and clean sources. For the social environment, naturopathy makes it apparent to address the root cause of illness through lifestyle and community. It considers the whole person. Naturopathic doctors often spend more time with patients, aiming to build trust and address the root causes, many of which are social. And for the built environments, this includes the physical spaces we live, work, and heal in. And it has a big influence on our health. Naturopathy advocates for clean, healing-centered environments that reduce toxic burden from buildings and cleaning products, access to green spaces, and the design of wellness centers. The SAGE mission includes the same sense of place, sense of self, place, and community. Similar to the human ecology, naturopathy has many reasons to support this. With the social and built environment benefits, it supports the sense of community and sense of place. Naturopathy supports the sense of self in different ways, with the attention to the whole person health and the personalization of the medication. With that in mind, throughout my research phase, with goals for my paper and my field phase, I found a thesis that will stay true to what I claimed. Naturopathic medicine is sustainable and contributes to societal health. While it has risk, naturopathy is better for individuals' overall health and well-being. This thesis has demonstrated true throughout my field phase. In my 3 different courses, plant walks, interviews, and internships, I've proven to myself that naturopathy is in fact sustainable, has societal benefits, and helped individual well-being and health. My research phase and field phase are very different. In my field phase, I felt like I knew a lot more about what I was doing and what I was going to learn compared to my research phase. My paper is a collision of very broad topics about naturopathy and herbalism, talking about sustainability, societal benefits, risks, and individual health, all in 2,100 words. That can have a lot of holes that I didn't catch to patch up. But going through my field phase and reading back on my paper, it's cool to see how much I've learned, and now I could patch up the holes from where I missed in the past. What I learned. Throughout the field phase, I learned a lot from when I started in the research phase, closing in on more specific topics like women's health, world health, and individual health. In today's synthetic medical world, medicine has been studied on and by men. So there's been very little research to how the female body works. So often, when doctors ignore the signs that women are going through, they will look for alternative medical help. That's what naturopaths do. 50% or more of women go looking for alternative medicine, and the doctors have about 75% of women in their practices. The world help. The world can become healthier with natural medicine, with its sustainability and societal health, and many other reasons like its help with biodiversity, reducing chemical pollution, and protecting traditional knowledge and landscapes. All with the help of the plants just existing. Air pollution goes down with the more natural plant air filters. Biodiversity helps with the pollution and health of other plants. And with the protection of land and traditional knowledge of medicine, naturopathy can heal our earth and the community just by existing. Same with world health, but on a smaller scale. Biodiversity, sustainability, and prevention on air pollution helps the person become healthier on a day-to-day life. With naturopathy also healing the whole person, taking note of what they eat, how much exercise, and what their stress levels are. Improves not just the symptoms, but the root cause and the whole body to its ultimate health and well-being. Now that you know what I learned, you're probably wondering how I learned it. In my field phase. In my field phase, I did several things to optimize my knowledge of plants. I took online courses, 2 from Udemy and 1 from Coursera. This is where I learned a lot about which plant is which and how it works medicinally. I also interned at Headwaters of Wellness with Gusty Swift, making flower essence, sitting in with patients, and trying out some really cool machines like a full potty air compressor, an amp coil, and trying out the flower essence that I made. While also visiting Aaron Sweeney's office a couple of times to make teas, tinctures, and talk about the plants in the world of herbalism. Before this phase started, I had an in-person salve-making class at the Sawtooth Botanical Garden in March, having a hands-on learning experience on how to make salves and what this community is in the valley. During spring break, I traveled all the way to Eugene, Oregon to visit the Wish Garden Herbs Lab facility with the sweetest person ever, Dewey. And that's him in my picture. The facility there wasn't what I imagined at all. I imagined like a little witchy hut with dried plants hanging from the ceiling and huge garden houses and gardens in the back. But it was actually like a whole lab. The barrels sitting there and there have precisely measured herbs sitting in like alcohol to extract the properties of the herbs. And then those are delivery boxes, and there's a bunch of machines that you can see in the back of these that make the medicines. And the people working there are so like professional looking. They're wearing lab coats and hair nets and stuff. It was really cool to see. And these are my certificates that I earned for my online courses. Coming back to my anxiety, I have to understand anxiety holistically. My project is about my anxiety, and with the principle of naturopathy, I have to find the root cause of it, which isn't easy. Throughout my years of middle and high school, since I got my 504 plan to assist my learning, my mom and I have been trying to find the root cause of my anxiety, and how to identify it when it strikes so we can know what it is and how to help it. So going into this project, I already had like a head start on knowing what my anxiety is. I can understand my anxiety through how it affects the body, what path do naturopaths take for anxiety, and learning the importance of personalized care with naturopathy. What is anxiety and how does it affect the body? Anxiety is the body's natural response to stress and fear. The effects on the body can include increased heart rate and blood pressure, muscle tension, digestive issues, sleep disturbances, and hormonal imbalances. I could say I've experienced all of those things. What paths do naturopaths take for anxiety? Naturopaths treat the root cause rather than just the symptoms. They see all body symptoms as interconnected, especially nervous, digestive, hormone, and sleep symptoms. Naturopaths aim to create balance across all systems because one area affects the others. The importance of personalized care in naturopathy. Everyone's body and the way it works is different, and naturopathy takes note of that. Everyone has different genetic makeup, lifestyle, environment, and stress response. This approach improves outcomes by respecting each person's unique needs and healing capacity. And with all of these points, it can help me figure out just a little bit more about my anxiety. And with my knowledge, I made my creations. With Gusty Swift, Aaron Sweeney, and me, I have made a catalog of teas, tinctures, flower essence, and salves. I made one tincture with Aaron with the herbs red root, linden, lemon balm, prickly ash, and for stimulation in the brain and nerves to help me wake up and get focused. And I also made a tea with passion flower, linden, and kava, and other calming herbs to help calm me down at the end of the day. I could say it works so well. I've drinking it every night, and I just fall asleep immediately. With Gusty, I made a flower essence made with elm, cherry plum, and rabbit brush. All of these plants help calm the nerves and help the mind get back on track. Here's some pictures of my stuff. The last week of field phase, I brought together all of my knowledge and gathered from my teachings and created a few things like 3 different tinctures and 4 different teas. The tinctures have, one of them is lemon balm and elm, lavender and lemon balm, basil, and oregano. All of these have different but similar effects on the nerves. Properties being aiding digestion, supporting cognitive function, calming the nervous system, and promoting relaxation. I also made a couple salves at the botanical gardens, which are over there. And those are made up of oregano, rose, lavender, and with olive oil. These help with antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and astringent properties. Because salves are put on the skin, you want to have them have skin surface healing properties. And also, since I made so much tea, I thought I should share. So you can take 1 or 2 bags if you want in the second gallery after lunch. My personal growth from this project has been great, with learning about different ways to optimize my health to figuring out how to handle all my work responsibly and organized. This independent trimester has helped me become just a little bit more into the person I strive to be. Thanks. Any questions? Oh, Amy.
Hi, nice job. I'm wondering if you are planning to continue your path for herbalism as a career.
I don't think I'll continue as a career, but I still am really interested, and I want to know like what every plant is and what every plant does, and I think it's so interesting. Maggie?
I wonder about the coexistence of synthetic and natural medicine. Do you have to choose one path or the other, or is there a time and a place for the different approaches?
No, you don't have to pick one or the other. Some natural medicines can like loosen the effect of synthetic drugs. So it's important to know what you're taking and what you can take together, but some natural medicines can actually assist the synthetic drugs to have a better effect on your body. Yeah.
Ryan has a question.
Oh, Ryan?
Alaina, I wonder, since your project, have you gone out and done any wild crafting of plants and started to make your own medicine? And if so, do you have any recommendations of things that are in season right now to be harvested mindfully and thoughtfully and turned into medicine?
I have done a couple like nature walks and gone around and identified plants, but I haven't actually harvested any yet myself. I just bought like dried herbs off of the line to make tinctures and teas, but I don't know what plants are in season right now, so. Jazzy?
Right, I don't really know how to explain this, but what's like your favorite plant that has like the best properties or something?
Well, in my tinctures, I have lemon balm in each one of those. That's really good for anxiety. You could see that on a lot of research, but also when I was researching for my flower essence, elm came up a bunch. It helps with your cognitive function and your nerve. It's a nerve relaxant. So it's like both. It's really cool. And it also smells really good. Anybody else? Oh.
What's a tincture?
Oh, yeah. So that's dried herbs or fresh herbs put into a jar and put in with alcohol. And it's set for as long as you want, either a few days, a few weeks, a few months, or a few years. It really depends on what you're looking to get. And what it does, the alcohol, it extracts the properties the medicinal properties that you want from the plant, and you can drop it directly in your mouth, or you could put it in your tea. Yeah. Yeah. Who's that?
Did you, in your, I guess, journey, have you found that your remedies have been effective to help with anxiety? And then another question maybe, or maybe connected, is do you think that the process of like crafting your own remedies maybe has an effect on your overall sort of goal of anxiety sort of management?
From taking the different teas or tinctures or flower essences that I made, I can definitely say that they do work. I've felt more focused or more sleepy depending on what I took. And last night I just extracted the tinctures that I made and put them in my little jars. And I really did like the actual activity of straining out all the herbs and putting it into little jars. It was calming for me, so I think it is like a whole process, like growing the plant, harvesting the plant, drying it, making it, and using it. It's a whole process, and it's really calming. Yeah. Anything else?
Alaina, I have a question.
Yeah?
It seems like you really enjoyed this ITri. You seem to have a passion for extraction and knowledge of plants.
Yeah.
I'm curious, there's actually two questions. One, what are you going to be studying? And secondly, why are you, what led you to this thing that you're going to study rather than this thing that seems really obvious to us that you really enjoy?
So I'm actually not studying this. I'm studying architecture. It's very different. But what led me to study architecture is another deep reason that I love. I love crafting and I love making stuff out of cardboard, and that's another really deep thing that I love to do. So it was just a little bit more strong in what I wanted to do with my life. But in the future, I'm definitely going to keep researching plants because I love it. Yeah. Is that it?
There's often a lot of different moments that happen in these, in the preparation and the planning and the execution of these. And one of the moments that happened with Alaina that just boggles me is listening to her stand up here, rock solid, speaking to all of you about anxiety. When, I don't know if she knows this, but the fear of public speaking is actually greater than sort of the fear of death in most people. And yet to watch her stand up here in a solid form and just speak to us about that is really, really cool.